We're talking push trucks, PA posse, really big right rear wheels, and racing on dirt. From Silver Dollar to Williams Grove, Eldora to Devil's Bowl, and of course, Knoxville. This is Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Now your hosts, Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
Hello again. Welcome in. It is MRN Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. We're so glad you joined us here, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. Erin Evernham alongside, and we are looking forward to a great show. So glad you joined us. This show is going to be so much fun. Jason Sides, the party continues. The road goes on forever and the party never ends. Yep. Well, Jason Sides joins us after a big win last week. Kyle Hurst, he had a big win out in California. Kyle will join us. And we're going to talk to Sprint Car and Midget Magazine columnist and the king of the bleeders, if you will, Jeff Swindell. So looking forward to it, Erin, and just always fun to talk and see what's going on across the sprint car world from California east. We've got them covered.
Absolutely.
Well, and we have them covered here on the program because Mother Nature had them covered this weekend. Wow. Yeah. I've never seen anything like it. It's like you sit there and you follow social media, and it's frustrating.
Well, we were just talking about being a weather nerd.
You are a weather nerd.
So, yeah, absolutely, admittedly.
Okay.
So, just looking at the whole East Coast, I mean, granted, they rained out even in the Midwest, but it was like rain everywhere. See,
that's funny. Now to bring this into sprint car racing, I am not a weather nerd. I don't pay any attention to it at all. Where I know the weather is when I see sprint car tracks on my Twitter feed canceling.
Yeah.
It's like I don't look at like the storms rolling into Pennsylvania. I don't even pay attention to that. I'll see Williams Grove is canceled. I said, well, it must be it's raining in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And then I will think, like, I wonder how Attica's doing. Oh, Attica got rain. Oh, no, I hope Pennsylvania, you know. So I'm not a weather geek at all, and you are, and it's funny. We were just at Talladega where everything was going to be washed out.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing this show on Tuesday. We're still going to be in Talladega running the race. Everything went off. And so I get a charge out of these weekends. They work in my favor, not being a weather geek. But when I'm out in the middle of pit road and it pours down on me and I'm not prepared for it, I kind of wish I had a little geekness in me. So.
Yeah.
But it's cool. But unfortunately, when you look at this list, the World of Outlaws rained out all weekend. Central Pennsylvania, Williams Grove, Lincoln got part of their program in. The Party at the Path was canceled. Knoxville Raceway got rained out. The Arctic Cat All-Star Circuit of Champions got rained out. Weekly racing at Attica, Lernerville, Fremont, Mercer, Wayne County, all washed out. That, Danny Smith, our guy Danny Smith, we love Danny. Danny Smith, I think, is going to have a second career. Of course, he's got to stop succeeding at that first one.
I was going to say, he's got a long...
it's a long way off. But he's become a Twitter comedian, you know, and he had some big Twitter thing, breaking news, because of general lack of interest. Danny Smith Racing is done till Wednesday, you know, something with the rain and everything, but really cool. But let's take a look at the Valco Racing Wheels results page, because there were a couple races along the way, and we mentioned it on the West Coast when we talked about Kyle Hurst scoring the win. It was at Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico, California, the Dave Bradway Memorial. So big win for Kyle there, doing that over Sean Becker and Rico Abreu. Jacksonville Speedway, Greg Wilson scored the win. And we talked to Greg 2 weeks ago, and I hate to say it this way, but dramatically, Greg is doing his first year in the World of Outlaw Craftsman Tour, and we know how difficult it is, and there are times he's got to feel like he is just being flogged.
Absolutely. And I think that when you're on the Outlaw Tour and you're getting beat up, you don't realize how much you're improving. But going to a track like this, off the beaten path, you realize, okay,
I'm getting
all right.
there.
Yeah, it's paying off.
Exactly. So he won at Jacksonville on Friday night. Ironically, Jacksonville is where the World of Outlaws roll this Wednesday. Now, with the World of Outlaws, you never have a big upper hand, home track advantage or anything, but really good move, I think, for Greg Wilson. And then to win the race, confidence has got to be big, because I know it's a rough gig he's out there in the middle of. I think he knows it. I don't think he's expecting anything in charity or anything like that, but it was a good win for Greg at Jacksonville. Blaine Heimbach won at Port Royal. Wade Nygaard won at River Cities. And on Friday night at Silver Dollar Speedway, it was Willie Croft scoring the win. That's the Valco Racing Wheels results page. Valco Racing Wheels, made by racers for racers. More information at Valco, VAHLCO.com. That's www.vahlco.com. Now, Erin, I love getting mail. I love getting mail. Now, I love getting mail, okay? So, my buds from Pennsylvania, snail mail, because this was a package. It was a package from my buddy Matt. Now, Beer Hill Gang in Pennsylvania, they have their own cymbal player They have their own guy that plays the cymbals during the national anthem, okay? They have their own.
It.
Yes, you've witnessed it, okay? They have their own hugger. He's the guy in Victory Lane that runs down and picks everyone up. You know, like he picks up the driver and celebrates in Victory Lane, the Beer Hill hugger.
Yep.
It's Matt. So Matt has hooked me up with a care package. Look at that. Straight out of Beer Hill.
Very
decal.
nice.
There we go. Nice little straight out of Beer Hill. This is a Beer Hill itself decal that I can put on something. But look at this. Look at this. This is what I'm talking.
Wow, look at that.
Now
so
we're
are you
talking
officially a member of the Beard Hill?
Oh, I'm there. I'm one of their guys.
And you're
I'm up
total
there.
posse?
I'm not total posse. There's some
You
of
can
those
admit
people,
it.
No, there's some of those people that drive me nuts. Not. I mean, okay. On the scale of driving people nuts, okay, you mention the word posse.
Yeah.
And Kendra gets driven nuts. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good with posse.
I'm good with that. I just want to know
but
where you
there are
stood.
a couple of times where I'm like, okay, I can see how you, individual member of posse, can drive somebody nuts. They're passionate about it, and I love the passion, and I really do. But look, I got my
I was
own.
just wondering if you had declared your
No,
your
well,
stance.
I think I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm a more dirt modified guy, so I'm from there. So it's a home state thing, and I go to Beer Hill every time.
Of course.
And you know, I have the ritual at Beer Hill. You got to have a pull of Crown Royal with Stewie, the commissioner.
Yeah.
And so I do that every time, and I got my own
Oh,
shirt
so,
now.
So you're
I got
totally
my
a
own
member.
shirt. I'm Beer Hill. But really, when you think about care packages and gift packages
That's
from
cool.
Beer Hill, you can have all the shirts and stickers. But if you don't have a Beer Hill can koozie,
Obviously.
what do you need? So a Beer Hill can koozie I got. So I appreciate it. I will wear this, and I am really happy to say that this shirt is a 2X, which is my size now.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's been something I've been working out quite a bit, and I know a lot of you that are watching us on YouTube, and so many nice comments along the way. But I actually have downsized to 2X. So Matt not
Very
only
cool.
gave me a great shirt, but he nailed it on the size too.
Good job, Matt.
Which that's a moving target, and I'm proud it's a moving target, and I'm glad he was able to get that to me. So I appreciate it. Love the care package, and I will wear that Beer Hill T-shirt with pride anywhere I go.
Around Kendra.
Oh, I don't know about that. Now wait a minute. I don't know about that. I think I might tamper my moves around.
Oh, come on. Why not stir it up?
Exactly. Well, that would do it. That's for sure. That would do it. Hey, one other thing, and then we're going to talk with Jason Sides. But sprint car fans, Mother's Day is only 5 days a week. Erin, do you like flowers?
Yeah.
You're a racer. I mean, it's
I
not.
do. I mean,
yeah,
it's always a nice gesture.
always a
honestly.
nice gesture. Well, you got Mother's Day coming up. Your
I
first
know,
Mother's
my
Day.
first as a biological mom.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Of course, many more with your mom.
Absolutely.
But Mother's Day is coming up. It's only 5 days away. And really, in most cases, mom has been an expert on everything from cooking, relationship, fixing, cuts and bruises, and everything else. Moms are the bomb, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing, though, that you don't need to go to mom for advice is what to get her for Mother's Day. You can come to the postman and Erin here. We can hook you up. Okay, sprint car fans, this is for you right now, okay? We have got you hooked up with Pro Flowers. You can get mom 100 blooms with a free glass vase for $19.99
Wow.
plus shipping and handling. Or make her day extra special, update with a premium vase and add gourmet chocolates.
Now you're talking. Get the
Now
chocolate
we're
there.
talking for $9.99 more. So what you do is you go to goflowers.com today, use my code MRN. MRN in the code. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a little microphone up there, and you can do that. Now, Pro Flowers are guaranteed fresh and beautiful, at least 7 days of or your money back. You can choose the delivery date and time you want. So, I mean, it's just take care of mom, take care of grandma, take care of guys, you're married, and take care of your wife. We know it's a big sprint car weekend, so do it now.
Yeah, get it.
Do it now.
Get it done.
Schedule the delivery and just knock it out, and you'll be at the racetrack. Guys, we know you'll forget that you did it on this early in the week here. We know you'll forget you did it, but she'll come running in and be so happy with you. So, again, here's what you need to do. Go to proflowers.com, click on the blue microphone in the top right-hand corner, type in MRN. That's proflowers.com. Look for the microphone, type in MRN. Mother's Day is this weekend, so order today. Time is running out. This offer, and that is $19.99 for 100 blooms, $9.99 additional for the chocolate and the premium vase. This offer ends Friday at midnight. That's goflowers.com/MRN. Let's see. Racing results, goodie bags from Posse Land, and getting everyone hooked up for Mother's Day. We have got you covered. The only thing missing would be a conversation with Jason Sides, so let's do that in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Rico Aber, and you're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Racers, that's who Valco wheels are. That's who they know, and racing is what they know. Valco Wheels focuses oval track and grassroots racing, and understand racers need a quality wheel that fits your budget. With over 25 years experience, Valco Wheels produces the best product and give you face-to-face support and customer service at the track. Fast delivery, innovative products, problem solving. Find Valco Wheels at Valco.com on Twitter or Facebook, or call Valco Wheels at 609-758-7013. Valco Wheels.
O'Reilly. Regular oil changes are key to engine life, but the oil is only as good as the filter it flows through. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, earn double O Rewards points on all Mobil 1, K&N, Bosch, and Wix XP oil filters. These premium filters are made to remove more dirt, reduce friction, and keep your engine running smooth and strong. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
2 big nights of racing every week at the all-new Jackson Motorplex in Jackson, Minnesota. 3 classes of sprint cars. The NSL 410, the GoMuddy.com NSL 360, and the Race Saver 305 sprint cars tackle the big half-mile Friday nights starting on May 13 with the Fulkin Brothers Spring Nationals. Be at the all-new Jackson Motorplex every Friday night this summer and mark your calendars now for the 38th running of the Jackson Nationals, September 2nd through 4th.
This is Winged Nation on MRN.com. Now, back to Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
Having a great time, and we are glad that you joined us here on MRN Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. We need to go to the Hercules Tire Hotline. Joining us on the Classic Inc. pole position, fresh off that win, well, a week ago, but that's the last time the World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars raced. He is a race car driver, and more importantly, the proprietor and owner of the Sides Bar and Grill. Jason Sides is on the line. Hello, Jason. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, Steve. What's going on?
Not much. What's going on with you?
Not a whole lot. Just to be honest, I just left the Joe Gibbs Driven Oil Warehouse, picked up some rear end oil and a couple oil filters.
So the party is actually over? We thought you might have continued that party on from Tuesday night.
Yeah, it went on for a couple of days. But, we had to decide what to do on Salina there Friday morning. Of course, it got rained out, so we took it a little easy. Saturday come around, got rained out again, so party commenced to happen again.
Jason, this lifestyle that you've chosen, and you don't sit around and whine about it. In fact, you've chosen it and you love doing it. It is the World of Outlaws, traveling across the country and racing, basically a band of gypsies across the country. But you have found yourself, because I-30 is only 2 hours from the house, and not only winning that race, but you found yourself at a spot with the rain delays with an extended stay at home. I know it's giving you a great opportunity to party. We follow along on Facebook, but has it also given you a good opportunity to kind of catch your breath and restock and retool and get everything ready for the next run?
Well, yes and no. I mean, we had everything ready to go race Friday there at Salina. Of course, we got rained out, so we haven't really done anything since. I've had some time to be at home and spend some time with my daughter and actually with Paul's kids, Sawyer and Sydney both. So we've had some actual good home time without having to do a lot of work.
Jason, going back to your win on Tuesday night, how much did it mean to you to win that close to home and have so many friends and family there?
Well, I mean, it's just like anything. I mean, anytime you get a win is great, but like you say, being that close to home, that many people. There was people there that I haven't seen in years, just because I haven't been able to race around home, and it was great to see everybody. Everybody was there. I mean, it had a really good crowd for a Tuesday night, and everything worked out, and it couldn't have been a better night.
Better night and a great celebration at the end. You rolled the car in the infield. And you did a number of donuts in the infield. Okay, I've watched a lot of these donuts, and I think maybe I'm using, and I could be wrong here, but I use the Tim Kading scale, where the Tim Kading scale of donuts in Australia may be the ultimate. How did you do on your donuts on the Tim Kading scale?
I sucked. I've seen TK do it, and he's way better at it. But when I got in there, it got going around, and I didn't realize it was going to be that dusty. And there was an orange cone there with a big ditch, and somehow I got a hold of it. And I figured I better stop before I tore anything up.
That's awesome.
Always a story, that's for sure. Always a story. Jason, getting the win on last Tuesday night at I-30 Speedway. Prior to that, how would you assess, how has the season gone for you guys?
Honestly, I mean, it hadn't been that great. The last couple of races, we got a little bit better and had some help with Scotty Mells that used to work for me years ago, but he came and gave us a hand at Bakersfield in Paris, and seemed like we found some things that maybe had something like a bad bar going bad or something, and we made some changes, and actually was better the next couple of races, and even there at Devil's Bowl wasn't too terribly off, but just the draw didn't go our way there, and it was been getting better and better. Just with the win there at I-30, it just kind of capped everything off, especially being at home and with everybody there. It just kind of I've said it before. You can race with the Outlaws and you can go and have terrible nights, and you think, why am I doing it? But then you get that one hope or one really good night, and it changes everything around, and it's like, all right, let's go do it again.
Definitely happens. Jason, how are you feeling about the new rules package? How are they treating you? The new format, the new tire, and the Wicker Bill rules?
Wicker Bill, I think, is good. You could use 1 inch, 2 inch, or nothing at all. So I mean, that's good. The tires, I think the new wider 18-inch has it's helped me feel better as far as the car laying left and everything. I feel better with that tire than I do the other one. As far as the rest of the rules with the format, no, I think it sucks. But that's my opinion, and it makes you want to have a qualified engine in the car every single time you go out there, and you can't do that. You can't afford that, and that's kind of what it's come down to.
That's interesting, and and I'll be honest with you, Jason. It's really funny with this rule because there are some of your fellow drivers who think it's pretty good. Of course, a lot of times those are the guys that are qualifying well, and then there are other guys that have expressed it the same way you have, and it's one of those challenges I know they have, and certainly makes it tough, especially without that qualifying motor or without that big steam that a lot of other teams have out there on the tour. Jason, as we start to look forward a little bit, you're at where are we going this week? We're going to Jacksonville on Wednesday night, and then to Eldora, which you have pretty good memories from Eldora. What's your prospects as we look forward to the races this week and you guys getting back out of the house and on the road?
Yeah, it'll be good. We're going to leave sometime later this afternoon for Jacksonville. That's another one of those. It's a really small track. I think we've only been there once with the Outlaws, and I've been there one other time. But last year it seemed like it got slick and was pretty racy, so that should be pretty good. And it's always good to go back to Eldora. I mean, it's a place where you can be good or bad. It all depends on the racetrack, whether there's something top and bottom and how they have it prepared. But we've had good success there too. But I just look at it as going in there and see what the track is like, and what qualified. After qualifying, you kind of know where your night stands, whether you qualify like crap or not. And usually it's after the last 6 or 8, 10 races, depends on where we're at. But wherever I qualified is basically about where I finished for the feature that night. Wow. So it kind of does your whole night.
Determines what the plan is, yeah.
How difficult does it make those heat races when usually most tracks aren't wide enough for a lot of passing and you're starting straight up? How difficult are those heat races?
Well, like I said, it all depends on where you start in that heat race too. I mean, if you're on the second row, you have a little bit of a glimmer of hope to get it to the first or second to get into the dash. But after that, every position, every place you finish in that heat race is a position or a row or so in the feature. So it has a lot to do with the rest of your night. The heat race does.
Well, Jason, I'll tell you, it's been, we were so excited on, I didn't stay up, I'll be honest, I didn't stay up Tuesday night to follow along at I-30, but I was so excited Wednesday morning when I woke up and found that you guys had won, and I was not shocked when I found out, when I sent you the text at 6:20 a.m. Eastern, that you were still partying. No, in fact, I'd have been disappointed if I'd have got a text 6 hours later say, sorry, we were asleep. So, not shocked, but, and I'm glad. We've had so much fun, Erin. It's been fun following along, especially Paul does a lot on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's been fun watching you guys getting a little homestand here, but we can't wait to see you get back on the road doing what you guys do best, and that's the World of Outlaws. We appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us, and best of luck, and I know we'll see you soon down the road here in Charlotte.
All right, thanks, Steve. Good to hear from you, Erin, and tell Ray we said hi.
Will do.
There we go. That is Jason Sides, one of the really good guys.
He is.
And I love, Erin, the way he described it is, and we talked a little bit about it when we're talking about Greg Wilson. You can just get so humbled in this sport. You can just get so beat up, and the lows have got to seem really low, but I think Jason just confirmed that the highs are out of the galaxy.
Well, that tour is so difficult because, like in other forms of motorsports, you have a week to recuperate. There, it's like once you get on a downward spiral, it seems like it just keeps building and snowballing. I remember we were on a West Coast swing, and I wrecked a bunch of cars, and it was like every night just kept getting worse. You're like, all right, can't get any worse. We got to go uphill. And then, nope, get beat up again. And then you're like, you're out of equipment, you're out of parts, you're like, your confidence is beat up, and you're like, phew. And then one night you have a top 5, and you're like, all right, here we go. This is great. I meant to do this. You know, it's very, I think it's mentally a lot tougher than other forms of motorsports for that reason alone.
I can only imagine. I really can. And then Jason, as we talked about, blessed to be home, but he maybe has the longest celebration as a race winner that anyone will have this year.
True.
Because their schedule is so brutal. I mean, he's going to have 8 or 9 days to celebrate that win. There's not many 8 or 9 day gaps.
It is really cool. I know that when I was fortunate enough to win my one and only feature for the Outlaws, we ran somewhere the next night. And it was like, actually, we ran Tulare the next night, and I was fighting for the lead but ended up losing. But it was like, you only get a hot minute to celebrate. You don't get a whole week to enjoy it. It's like, all right, and I'm knocked back off the pedestal.
Here we go again. Let the beatings begin.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
No, it's so cool. So great. Love hearing from Jason. Jason joined us on the Classic Ink pole position. Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery. Great T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, towels, hats, shirts. You name it, they've got it. Corporate, other sports, schools, special events. I know why drivers like Brian Brown, Donnie Schatz, Danny Dietrich, Danny Lasowski, Brady Bacon, and more, who they rely on for their shirts and apparel. It's ClassicInkUSA.com. That's www.ClassicInkUSA.com. Stay with us. Kyle Hurst joins us next.
Winged Nation with Steve and Erin will return right after this on MRN.com.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in crafting hydraulic cylinders and components with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger and creating more opportunities for distributors and repair facilities. Crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. Aggressive Hydraulics.
O'Reilly.
Regular oil changes are key to engine life, but the oil is only as good as the filter it flows through. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, earn double O rewards points on all Mobil 1, K&N, Bosch, and Wix XP oil filters. These premium filters are made to remove more dirt, reduce friction, and keep your engine running smooth and strong. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon. Did you know that 43 children are diagnosed with cancer each and every day? That more children die from cancer than any other disease? Athletes of all ages are dedicating their stats to change these stats, and you can too. Visit JeffGordonChildren'sFoundation.org to become a Kick It champion. No matter what sport, you can use your points, laps, or goals to change the odds for kids with cancer. Make your stats really count. Become a Kick It champion.
Hi, I'm Casey Kane. Now back to Winged Nation.
Thank you, Casey. Welcome back, everyone. Having a great time here on MRN Winged Nation. Erin Evernham and Steve Post. Let's go out west. The winner of the Dave Bradway Memorial at Chico, California at Silver Dollar Speedway on Saturday night joins us. Drives the Tarleton Motorsports number 21X car. Kyle Hurst is on the line. Hello, Kyle. Welcome to Winged Nation.
Hi, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me on today.
Well, we are fantastic, but we probably aren't doing nearly as well as you are. Congratulations. Tell us about that win on Saturday night.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it means a lot. I've been trying since I started racing sprint cars when I was 16, and, it just meant so much to my family. My mom and dad put the race on for so many years, and then people that are just as close as family, Dave and Diane DeRica, have been putting it on since, and they told me I need to keep winning it because they're going to stop doing it sooner or later. So to get it done finally for them and everything, it was just a very emotional win and very cool to finally get it done.
And it was nonstop, no caution, 40 laps at Chico. What was that like?
It was awesome. They went out and worked the track, and everyone was looking at it before we go out for the feature and thinking, oh, they did too much. They did too much water, too much ripping. Ended up being perfect. They had a big old cushion all the way around it, a nice little bottom, and it was just nonstop. I fell back once. I got a lot of cars between me and the leader, Sean Becker, and thought, man, he's getting away from me. I'm not going to be able to do this. And then we got clear of it, and it just kept going. And I think the no yellows helped. You didn't have to think about it too much. You just kept trying to drive and get to the front as quick as you could.
Fascinating stuff. You got to the front. You held off Sean at the end. Rico Abreu finished in the third spot. Hey, you mentioned it. Your father, Rick, was so instrumental in that race. And there's so many times, and especially, and I've been very upfront here, that I'm rather new, 5-6 years to the sprint car world. What has your dad told you? Dave Bradway, the race in his honor, what are some of the stories? What are some of the significant meaning of that race had to you winning it? Because your dad and Dave were buds out there on the road.
Yeah, my dad and him were good friends. They always hung out and always raced together. And when he passed away in '87 up at Dirt Cup, and I was born a couple months later in December, and so they named me, middle name after him was David. And then just all the stories I ever heard about him, how he always lended a hand to another racer. If he's busy doing something, he'd still go and build a motor for a guy to get him out that night and go racing, and always a gasser. So I've just tried to aspire to be something like that, lend a hand whenever I can, help anyone, and at the same time go out and compete as hard as I can. So, they've always talked about him. It's a shame I never got to meet him or grow up with him. Would have been pretty cool. But all the stories I've heard, it's just you try to live up to that and be that kind of guy.
That's really cool. Now, this is your first season with Tarleton Motorsports. How would you assess your season so far?
Well, we're only 2 races in. I ran for a little bit of Roth in the beginning of the year, and Finley Farms, I run that car every once in a while too as well. So second race, first night out was qualified terrible and ended up running 11th in the feature, so it was kind of average. So to come out our second night and get a win was pretty cool. Can't thank them enough for what Roth and them kind of teamed up to get me going for the year out here in California, which is really cool too. Pretty dominant team, so it's cool to have both of them backing me and go out and racing with them every weekend. Paul Baines, the crew chief, man, he gives me a great car, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. We're already 2 races in, we were able to pick off a win, so I'm looking forward to going out and racing the rest of the season with them and see what else kind of damage we can do.
Now, am I right that the Roth and the Tarleton shops are pretty close by to each other? Is that true?
You could probably walk there in about 2 minutes. Yeah, it's
really?
right on the same street, Fig Avenue. They call themselves Fig Avenue Posse. So it wasn't too far to take my seat out of the Roth car and take it down to the Tarleton car. They actually got it in for me, and it was perfect. So, yeah, they're right down the road from each other, about 5 hours south from me, but go by whenever I can or whenever racing down that way.
How did the partnership between the two teams come together for your season?
Well, they once they got Joey going with the Roth deal on the road, Todd Ventura, it was going to be hard for them to go racing out in California full time and try to keep me busy like they have been the last couple of years. So they teamed up with Tom Tarleton and Tommy Tarleton to kind of get something going for me and still look after me, and it worked out. They helped out, and now I'm in the 21X, backed by both of them, and pretty good deal for me. I can't thank both of them enough. I mean, Roth has kept me racing out in California for the last 3 or 4 years, so everything they do for me, greatly appreciated, and they're still backing me still in a 21X car. So very cool what they've done for me this year, and just lucky to have people like I have. I have Finley Farms. I get to race 30 times a year, and a lot of good people look after me and keep me racing, and I know it takes a lot of people to do that to keep everyone racing around the country.
Kyle, that was my question, okay, and I did, and when I think of racing in California, the ownership, if you're affiliated with Tarleton and Roth, boy, I'm telling you what, you're with if the only thing missing is a Kading, and you got the big 3 out there, but you got 2 of those. You got 2 of those 3. But you also, we've seen you in the Finley Farms car. How does your schedule look this year? How do you have it all pieced together with all the operations, all the teams?
Well, it looks like we're going to run all the King of the West races, all the 410 series out here with the Tarleton car, and then they've mentioned if they have a night off, they're not doing something, and I have a night that I'm not in this Finley Farms car, that we can go do something. And then the Finley Farms car, we're going to run a lot of Chico. I'm only 15 minutes from Silver Dollar Racetrack where I live here in Paradise. So it's easy to go down the hill, race down there, run Gold Cup with them, win the Finley Farms car, stuff like that. So between the two, get enough racing in where I'm racing every weekend, staying busy as long as the rain goes away. It got most of the country this weekend, so I'm glad to stay away from us. But between the two teams, and if I bounce back into the Roth car, or my seat's always ready to go, and whoever someone wants to go racing.
Will you be making the trek to Knoxville?
Yeah, it's never in my control. If someone ever offered it, I'm sure I'd love to go do it. I'd love to go out there and race a month and get my feet wet. You know, quarter miles out here in California, we have Calistoga and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd always love to. I'm probably never going to pass down Knoxville for the opportunity knocks.
Did you say you live in paradise?
It's great. Me and the girlfriend Amy just moved up here last year. We lived in Chico. We ended up moving up to Paradise, so it's great. Everyone says, "What are you doing?" I'm in Paradise every day. Can't beat it.
Is it? I mean, is
Literally.
They named it Paradise, but is it a beautiful place?
Oh, it's more like mountains and tall trees. It's not Paradise where you're thinking beach and ocean. You're up in the woods a little bit, but it's my kind of living. It's quiet. It's you got a racetrack 15 minutes away, so you can't beat it.
That's cool. So what's the upcoming schedule look like? What's the next few weekends have for you?
King of West Coast pretty strong. Friday night races every Friday down here in Chico. Like I said, it's good. It's about 15 minutes away from me, so I just tow down the hill and tow back up. And then King of West, we have race Petaluma this weekend. It looks like there's a little bit chance of rain, so hopefully rain is good. We need to fill up all our lakes, but they're getting pretty full, so the rain can be done now and summer can start hitting. But we got that, and then we head down to Tulare, one of my favorite tracks. I was listening a little bit ago where you got your outlaw win, so always look forward to going back to Tulare. And, just stay busy. We got a couple speed weeks coming up in the Finley car, and just stay busy every weekend.
It sounds like, I was looking at, I follow along with TJ Slideways with his schedule. He does such a great job. It looks like there are between, the 410 is kind of King of the West and Silver Dollar, but it looks like there is, are there more and more 360 chances to race out there?
You can go up in Oregon and race stuff like that. There's speed weeks up there I've been running the last couple of years. It's a fun deal. Anytime you can race 7 nights and 8, it's fun to go do that. So I've been trying to do that in the Finley Farms car. But there are a lot of 360s, but it's still, to me, if I'm in a sprint car, it doesn't matter if it has a 360 or 410 under it. As long as I'm racing or doing something along those lines, I'm happy. So, but yeah, the 360, you got the Civil War Series, you got but still I think the 410 is a dominant deal. But between the two, you can stay busy enough that you're doing it every weekend.
That is fantastic. Taking you out of Paradise is the only problem with it.
No, I know. Yeah. You got to leave Paradise is no good, but you can always get back in a couple hours.
That is great, no doubt. If Paradise is only a couple hours away, sign me up. That is really cool. Hey, Kyle, we're going to take a moment here. Each week on the show, we do the Jeff Gordon Kick It Person of the Week, and we are going to honor a group, the Hoserville fans. Okay, and Erin, this is a group of fans that support racing and do it really well. Saturday night, they were the heat race sponsor for the King of the West Series, the Bradway Memorial, the Silver Dollar. For the 14th consecutive years they did it, and for each heat winner, they gave a Hoosier right rear 5 sleeves of tear-offs, and then the winner was interviewed on the front stretch, took his trophy up into the stands and gave it to a young fan. So, I looked at the results. Unfortunately, Kyle, you didn't claim one of the heat race wins. You got the big prize at the end, but has to be neat to have a group like this just come in and anytime someone wants to give you a right rear, a team's going to take it.
Absolutely. I mean, what they do to get that whole race going, and Hoosierville, they're all great people. A lot of fun. They're always camping at the races. They always give back. They love supporting us and coming to the races and watching, and they do whatever they can to get back to the racers. And so anything that you can get like that's pretty awesome. I mean, the Bradway race, they raise a lot of lap money and everything they do. Dave Abreu put up a bunch of money for us, and anytime anyone gives back, it's very cool because we racers, we're out there busting our butts trying to do everything we can. So when people do that, we can't thank them enough.
It is really cool. So we are going to name our Kick It Person of the Week, the Hoosierville group, for their efforts with the Dave Bradway Memorial. Really cool. Well, I'll tell you, Kyle, we're so excited about the start to the season you had, picking up that big win in the King of the West Series. We'll be following along, and we'll look forward to catching up with you as the season unfolds. But thanks for joining us here on MRN Winged Nation.
Thank you guys for having me. Hopefully I get some more wins. I can get back on the show again.
Let's do that. We'll interrupt you in Paradise. We'll get our Paradise report, right?
You guys are welcome to interrupt me anytime. Have a great day. Thank you guys for having me on.
There we go. That is Kyle Hurst, another great racer that we get a chance to talk to. We talk to him 2 or 3 times a year. I think this is new, though, that he moved to Paradise.
Yeah. How cool is that, really?
That's awesome. You spend every day in Paradise.
People must not believe him. I live in Paradise.
I live in Paradise.
What?
I live in Paradise.
Is he joking? Yeah. Is he for real?
Really, exactly. So really cool. And cool that the Hoosierville group does that. So, again, want to mention the Jeff Gordon Kick It Person of the Week. And if you have suggestions for that, our email is pretty simple, wingnation@AOL.com. PayWell.com. Send in if some person, some individual, some entity does something really, really good, whether it's sprint car racing. The Jeff Gordon Kick It is for childhood cancer and children's charities, so we certainly love those as well. But if somebody is doing something good, selfless act, we like to hear about them in the sprint car world, and maybe they will be mentioned as our Jeff Gordon Kick It of the Person of the Week next year. One other group we really like to support and talk about is the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. And one of the things we talk about is we talk about birthdays along the way of Hall of Famers and just really key people. Sunday's birthday, Tracy Hines and Taylor Pappyweld. Monday would have been the birthday of Kevin Gobrecht, who sadly we lost back in 1999. Thursday, Mark Kinzer, Rip Williams, Dwayne Pappy Carter. Friday, Lloyd Beckman, and Saturday, Dave Steele. But let's go back to Mark Kinzer. Mark Kinzer, 52 years old. You left.
I love Mark Kinzer. Mark and Carl, they're just great people.
Why's that?
Well, when I ran the Outlaw Tour,
Yeah.
we actually spent a lot of time with them, and it was an honor being a sprint car fan growing up that suddenly I'm hanging out with Mark. But I actually hung out with Mark more than Carl. He didn't really think too highly of a woman in a sprint car.
Carl was a little old school, was he?
Oh, yeah. So it took some good battles between Mark and I and some strawberry homemade ice cream to seal the deal to get Carl to be my buddy. Yeah.
Mission
Got
accomplished.
to spend a lot of time with them. They're just really cool people.
Really cool. Mark, an incredible racer, 2014 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, two-time World of Outlaw champion, 96 and 99. Fourth on the all-time list of wins with 153. Three-time Knoxville Nationals champ. In fact, I think the first year he won it, Kendra was Miss Knoxville Nationals.
Yeah.
So really neat there. He won the Kings Royal. Retired in 2006. And that's why I think it's interesting. 52 years old on this Thursday. So how about that? So was
happy
it
birthday.
Strawberry?
Homemade strawberry ice cream.
That was for Carl.
I had to find it somewhere in Pennsylvania, knocked on his room in a hotel, delivered it, and that kind of sealed the deal. We were friends after
You're
that.
all right. You're good to go.
Well, maybe he's happy I'm not driving anymore, but we're buds.
Buds, that's all that matters right there. We're all living in paradise now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, Kyle Hurst is living in paradise. We're here.
We're
so.
in Concord, North
Yes,
Carolina.
exactly. We need to step away. When we come back, we're going to talk sprint cars and bleeders. Yeah, that sounds real interesting. Jeff Swindell, he joins us next.
Hey, this is Donnie Schatz, and you're listening to Kendra and Steve on Winged Nation, here on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Mother's Day is this weekend. Mom has always been an expert on everything: cooking, relationship advice, fixing your cuts and bruises. The one thing you can't go to her for advice on is what to get her for Mother's Day. Not to worry, you'll look like an expert on Mother's Day when you use Pro Flowers. Get Mom 100 blooms with a free glass vase for $19.99 plus shipping and handling, or make her day extra special. Upgrade to a premium vase and add gourmet chocolates for just $9.99 more. Go to proflowers.com today and use code MRN. Here is the only way to get 100 blooms and a free glass vase starting at just $19.99. Visit proflowers.com, click on the blue microphone in the top right-hand corner, type in MRN. That's proflowers.com. Click on the microphone and type in MRN. Mother's Day is this weekend, so order today. Time is running out. This offer expires Friday at midnight.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon, and now back to Winged Nation.
Thank you, Jeff. We are having a great time, and we appreciate you joining us here on MRN Winged Nation. This is what we call our favorite time of the week. One of my other favorite times is when Sprint Car and Midget Magazine shows up, because I literally drop everything I'm doing, sit down, and just start tearing through it to see who's saying what and who's doing what. One of my favorite gentlemen to read in there is racer, expert bleeder, on bleeders in the sprint car world, and just all-around good guy, Jeff Swindell, who joins us on the program. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
Well, hell, I keep waking up.
By God, that's better than the option, isn't it?
That's what the bankers have.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Jeff, we appreciate you joining us here on the program. I want to talk a little bit about, and I loved your trucking column here. It's kind of a life reflective column that we had in the last edition of Sprint Car and Midget magazine, and it's amazing the roads we end up traveling when we look back. But I guess my first question is, looking ahead on racetrack as far as racing goes, what's your game plan as you look forward with the actual driving of the cars?
Well, actually, we pulled off the national tour with the ASCS last year, and the bleeders have just gone crazy this year. So we've been thrashing trying to get that done and get caught up with those, and we're trying to release the new Midget Micro, which we'll start shipping those today. And then the late models are within a few weeks out here right now, and we got some new sensors that I'm getting my own stuff built now, and so we're upgrading everything we've got, and so that's just had a swamp here lately. But we are going to have a busy later of the year schedule. We're going to be running Gil and Donnie Saunders' 47 car up in Knoxville some this year, and go to the Nationals with the Vesco sponsorship on it, and the Hammers 94 that we've been in the last several years with the 360. We'll just kind of pick and choose with it once we get rolling here shortly. And just picked up a delivery of HRP wings yesterday, actually. So we're just starting to get ready with that. I just hadn't even had a chance to work on the car. And then we've also got, what I think is going to be a lot of fun this year. We're going to be running Mark Swanson's 21 Silver Crown car this year. And it's got a lot of good people involved with it. Jack Hewitt, Kent Walters, Daryl Goducci. They got the TRD motors with that thing, and Action Auto Parts, and Electrical Supply, and Jocko's RMT Machine. I mean, there's just a lot of good people involved in that whole program there. So real excited about that. I love the Champ cars, and can't wait to get back in it at Indy for the fairgrounds for the Hoosier 100. See if we can't win it again.
I was just going to ask, where will you be running that Silver Crown car?
Well, we'll go to Indy the end of the month, 26th, I think it is, right before the 500, and then we'll go run. We might go to Williams Grove and run that scheduled race, then along with Springfield, DuQuoin, and then Eldora at the end of the year. They've got Kyle Hamilton's in their pavement car, so he'll be doing the pavement duty, and I'll be doing the dirty job.
Jeff, real layman's question here, because the next time I sit in a sprint car will be the first time I sit in a sprint car or any racing vehicle. And I know obviously we talk a lot about wing sprint cars here on Wing Nation, but when you look at the Silver Crown car versus a non-wing sprint car, just can you describe the differences between the two of them in layman's terms?
The non-wing sprint car, really, it's kind of controlled chaos, I'd say, more than anything. We grew up, us old guys grew up mostly running non-wing cars. Back when the Outlaws began, they most of the races were non-wing. Most people didn't know that. Most people are a lot younger than us, but and then some days we actually ran a non-wing show during the day and then a wing race at night. So, but the big difference, I think, between the Silver Crown car, especially like running the miles and stuff, my relay to that is like driving a bus on ice, I think, is what I would compare it to mostly.
Yeah, I could see that.
A bus on ice.
Yeah, especially a Silver Crown car with that wheelbase, for sure.
Yeah. They're not real quick reacting, and they take a lot of room to move them around a lot. So, running wheel to wheel in them things gets a little hairy sometimes. So, but I've always loved the miles ever since the first time I saw one with the wing car. We ran second up at Syracuse with the Outlaws, very first time I ever even looked at a mile track. And like I say, we've won DuQuoin and Springfield and won Indy and with the Silver Crown cars. So definitely love the miles, and glad to be getting back on track with that this year.
That's fantastic.
Jeff, you, as you mentioned, have been around the sport for a long time, and now with the bleeder business, what do you feel how do you think the state of the sport is right now? Sprint cars seem to be pretty healthy across the country, correct?
Oh, I think so. I mean, it's going great. I keep hearing from new people every day on the bleeders, and the excitement around the racing now, I think, is just as good as it's ever been. I've been to a bunch of the outlaw shows and even a bunch of outlaw late model stuff here lately, and the crowds are crazy. There's still great crowds at all these events, and I think there's a lot of passionate people out there that are into the open wheel dirt cars, and I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. Matter of fact, we keep bringing our kids into this. I'll start my son Asa will start in the 305 this year for the first time. We've had him in street stocks since he was 11, so we're going to move him over into a 305 this year. So as long as we keep these kids coming up and keep trying to make them safer, I think we're all going to be better for it.
Jeff, I am always fascinated on how, and this kind of goes back to your trucking column on how we all got to where we're at, okay? But when you take an item on a sprint car, which now you've evolved, as you mentioned, to modifieds, late models, everything else, a bleeder. Where did the idea, how did you get started down this path where it's like, I'm going to focus on that? How did that all get started for you?
Well, over the last several years, after I got back into racing and we started traveling a little bit, it was mostly just my son. Like when we hit the road, he was 11. He was my help, and a good friend of mine locally here that has his own business here, he would go with me. So it was just us three. And the process you have to go through on getting all the adjustable bleeders set and keeping them working good and keeping them clean and making them operate right was just so time consuming, and it caused so many arguments in the pits. And I mean, not just with our team, every team out there has had the argument with whoever their bleeder guy was. Hey man, why'd you screw that up? Can't you pay better attention to what you're doing? But it's just that even some of the best outlaw teams have major problems with them. It's and everybody does at one point or another. So, it was out of necessity really more than anything. I just got to thinking about it and trying to figure out how to make it. And I started that process over 5 years ago. And when I finally got one done, it worked, and it worked so well, I realized that, everybody's going to want this. So then I had to kind of keep it under wraps for a while so we get the patents and everything going through. Yep. And, for a long time, I'd walk out to the car with it in my uniform, and then when nobody was looking, I'd shove it in the right rear and put the hubcap on it so nobody even knew I had it.
Wow.
So it came about. We got it going. We finally got it. Sammy, when I got the patents done, I got one up going for Sammy, and he started running them, and he didn't want to take them out, even though we did have a few little battery issues and stuff at the time, and he kept running them constantly. And then when we finally did the beta test there, the last half of the season before last, and all the outlaw guys that we went to, and ASCS guys and the USEC guys that we went to, they all purchased them, they all loved them, and the test went great. So we just kind of moved on from there, and it's been going like gangbusters since we released last January. So it's been a lot of fun. I tell you, I've won more races in the last year than I have my whole life, or I can say I've been in victory lane more. So that's been really neat. And working with all the different guys and the teams and not screaming at them or arguing with them over something we did on the track, being able to work with all the different people has just been a blast and a lot of fun. And my son's involved with it also. He's doing a lot of the manufacturing process now. So basically me and him do everything as far as that's concerned. And so that's been real good to keep it in the family and been able to work with him through all this too. So it's just a lot of fun. We've got to work with a lot of great people. We've tested with a bunch of good late model guys and big block modified guys back east, and all those we'll be releasing those here probably within the next 3 weeks. So it's just really been a lot of fun. I tell you, I've got to see a lot of good racing. You mentioned late models and dirt modifieds. Have you gotten to work a little bit on those cars, and how different is that? It's night and day. The late models are unbelievable. How hard they are. I think to get them going as good as some of them guys are going. I've got to work with Donnie Schatz real closely with his late model and do a lot of the testing on his. But we've been running them on his since Charlotte last year, and I did all the tire prep and all the grinding and grooving and cutting and drilling and everything to all of his tires throughout the whole week of Volusia. And so he wore me out down there, but
I said that'll keep you busy.
Where they look perfect.
Wow, that's fascinating. It really is, and absolutely amazing how an item like that can take you and take you on just quite an adventure that probably 3 years ago you never dreamed you'd be doing. And It's really, really cool. We talked to your editor over there and the publisher, Doug Ald, and we equated.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, we equated putting that newspaper or that magazine together to herding cats, keeping all you guys in line. Okay, so I've referenced your trucking column. What's next? What's your next masterpiece in Sprint Car and Midget magazine?
Well, the next one that'll be coming out is kind of an infomercial, really, for all the young kids coming up, and some of the things that I think that they need to pay attention to, you know, to be able to survive the sport. You know, as far as coming out the other end, either one way or another. I mean, everybody's not going to get filthy rich driving race cars. You know, there's a select few that get to make it to the upper ranks, and you know, I was lucky. I've made a good living off of it, not most of my whole life, and you know, you can do that, but there's not that many people that get to, you know, so you got to be looking at the after race life. So, you know, that makes a big difference too. And just some of the things I've learned to pay attention to. And so hopefully that'll help some of these younger guys out.
Love it. Can't wait to check it out. Jeff, always a pleasure to chat with you. Continued success with the bleeder business. We can't wait for you to get on track with all those race cars and just continued success. But thanks for time joining us here today.
Well, I sure appreciate it, and shout out to everybody up there in Indy. Y'all need to go out there and vote and make sure we get Trump rolled in this thing.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I was waiting for that.
That's it. Get it. Yeah, fire them up. Here we go. That sounds good. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Yeah, you don't know.
No, you can have it now.
What's your phone number or email address? I can send them your way.
BR549.
There you go. Exactly. Oh, Jeff, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
No problem. Y'all have a great day.
Oh, there we go. That is Jeff Swindell. You never know what you're going to get. But there's so much about that conversation is fascinating. And I think it's really neat that he's going to, something that he was really interested in early is the Silver Crown cars on the mile.
Yeah.
And he's going to get a chance. I mean, how many times in your life do you get a chance to step back and try it again at something that you had so much passion for?
And something so different than what he does on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Like
really
cool. They do drive so differently, and there is so much history behind those mile tracks.
Yeah, really, those big flat miles, exactly. It is, man, I'll tell you, always great. I've loved every time we talk to Jeff Swindell, but the Trump comments, okay.
I knew it was coming. If you follow on Facebook.
Yeah, he's politically very active, very politically active.
I was wondering if he was going to sneak something in.
Yeah, he did. That's good. Hey, that's perfectly fine. He's Jeff Swindell, after all.
Exactly.
And you can read his stuff at Sprint Car and Midget Magazine. We need to step away. More MRN Winged Nation in just a moment.
I'm Shane Stewart, and you're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
The 25th year of the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series is about to begin.
Expanded national and regional tours, over 150 events across the United States, and some of Sprint Car Racing's biggest names and rising stars.
The 25th anniversary of the Lucas Oil ASCS is one you don't want to miss. Find out when the American Sprint Car Series is near you in 2016 at ASCSRacing.com. Find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter,
and catch all the action away from the track live at RacingBoys.com.
Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery is constantly testing the limits of custom racewear and specialized embroidery. Headquartered in Western Pennsylvania, Classic Ink holds the highest standard, maximizing your return as well as the ultimate customer satisfaction. From track swag fanwear to quick crew crewwear, Classic Ink has you covered. Their dedicated staff and designers will keep your race team and fans looking sharp. Contact Classic Ink today and get your team ahead of the competition. www.classicinkusa.com. That's Classic Ink at the track and on your back.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa.
Honoring sprint car racing's greatest achievers.
25 historic sprint cars on display. A movie theater featuring sprint car racing film. And a breathtaking view of historic Knoxville Raceway. Go to SprintCarStuff.com for the largest sprint car gift shop on the planet.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa.
This is Winged Nation on MRN.com. Now, back to Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
MRN Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. So glad you joined us. And to get all the great sprint car news, you can find out at MRN.com. Our boy Jeff Wackerlin, he is fired up about it because now sprint cars are running all the time. That means he gets no sleep at all. Now, his wife and new baby, I'm not sure, but MRN.com. Erin and folks, I'm handing Erin a card here, but I want you to tell the world what that card is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Steve Post Media.
Yes, what's the organization?
Lucas Oil ASCS Sprint Car Series.
Indeed. You know why I'm showing you that? Because I've had to dust this thing off because Thursday night, baby.
You're
Thursday
going.
night, it's the KC Classic at Lakeside Speedway for the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour.
Conveniently
Located, okay? And this is take 3. They've tried this. This is the 3rd year they've tried it, and it's been rained out. My buddy Scott Traylor is one of the promoters of this one. They do stuff with the McCarthy Auto Group, and he's racing boys, Scott is. And we love the racing boys. But Brian Orbut, the PR guy, sent me this earlier this year, and I've tucked it in my wallet, and I said, I hope I get to use it. And about 8 days ago, Scott, as every promoter in the country, started sending weather forecasts that called for sunshine and blue skies. And it appears, at least when we're sitting here now, that we are golden. And this Lucas Oil ASCS media card, hard card, is going to get used this Thursday night. I haven't seen, I love getting a chance to catch up with guys like Wayne Johnson. I know you spent a lot of time with Wayne when you were in Knoxville.
Yep.
One of my favorite guys on the planet
he's
to talk to.
a really good person.
Just love chatting with him. Johnny Herrera, can't wait to watch Johnny Herrera, Aaron Reitzel, and all of the ASCS guys. Great series. Absolutely fantastic. So I am so excited because for the last 3, this is the 3rd year that I've had to just juggle plane rides and rides. You know, when we travel to the races, it is convenient, but we share cars and we share plane rides and we try to coordinate it. And our travel people here at MRN do a great job. And it's like every time we come to this, I'm like, okay, I've been able to make it all work. And then I land in Kansas City and it rains. No rain. The McCarthy
Do you want the weather nerd to keep you updated?
There we go. Yes, my weather nerd. Yes.
I'll send you some text.
Keep me updated as long as it's good news. That's the whole thing.
Okay,
you know.
right.
So,
deal. So if you don't hear from me, no.
I don't.
Could be in
Okay,
trouble.
there we go. Exactly. So that kicks off the big week. Well, no, it doesn't kick off the weekend. The weekend kicks off Wednesday night with the World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprints at Jacksonville, Illinois. You can find all the information and follow along Wednesday night at Dirt Vision. As we mentioned, Thursday night, the McCarthy Tire Auto Group KC Classic at Lakeside Speedway. Back to the World of Outlaws because this is a fun one. It's called, and they're using hashtag Let's Race 2. The World of Outlaws at Eldora, Friday and Saturday night, World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars and USAC Sprints together. Complete programs both nights.
I like that. It's nice combination.
Wonder who's doing all the double. I'm sure Clausen is doing all the double. I wonder if
Yeah,
Brady Bacon would.
probably.
Wonder if there's anyone else that's going to be doing all 4 races.
I would guess there might be.
I'm sure there would be. I'm sure someone else will do that. But really, really cool. Can't wait to do that. National Sprint League. Finally, it looks like they're going to kick off their season. Man, they got washed out early with one, and it's a big one. It's the I-80 Speedway Dirt Classic I-80, $10,000 to win, plus a golden ticket into the Dirt Classic at Lincoln. But it is Friday night in Greenwood, Nebraska. I need to mention this. We talk a lot about our friends doing the race pay-per-view. Speed Shift TV is doing the National Sprint League races, so Speed Shift TV. Central Pennsylvania, Williams Grove, Lincoln, and Port Royal. And on Sunday, the Kevin Gobrecht Classic at Susquehanna Speedway. Colton Gauss and Scott Gobrecht just absolutely breathing incredible life into Susquehanna Speedway. And the 410s are back this week. I think 358s are there with them as well. Knoxville Raceway, Kenra's going to be busy out there Saturday night, 410s, 360s, and 305s. Hopefully they can get their 3rd race of the season in the books. IRA bumper-to-bumper sprints, Friday, Manitowoc Expo Speedway, and Saturday at Wilmot Speedway. King of the West Series, Saturday at Petaluma, as Kyle Hurst told us. And weekly racing at Lernerville, River Cities, Silver Dollar, and Skyline on Friday night. Saturday night, Brush Creek, Butler, Mercer, St. Francis County, and Wayne County Speedway. I want to mention this, so that's this weekend. Want to mention this as well, that we've talked so much about Jackson Speedway, what Doug Johnson is doing up at Jackson Motorplex. Their opening night was slated for May 13th, but they're pushing it back 1 week to May 20th. So if you're planning on going up there for their opener, it is the weekend of May 20th and 21st. Now, 2 other things real quick. We have your Wing Nation weekend this weekend, presented by Hefter Racing Products, Tim Kading. We're going to talk about that I-80 Dirt Classic. And listen to this. MRN Winged Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV, Saturday morning, Doug Wolfgang.
Oh, that's going to be a cool one.
That is a cool one. I'll tell you a little bit of a secret here. We've already recorded it.
He's one of my favorites.
Ashley Strummy and I, and folks, they used to say, like on some night, that NBC was must-see TV. No. Wing Nation on Saturday morning, MAV TV, brought to you by Sage Fruit, 9:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, with the legendary Doug Wolfgang. That is must-see TV.
Yes.
He is I'm telling you, we could do 6 hours with that man
easily
and not scratch the surface. And I hope I know we got good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, his stories are amazing, but his personality, his sense of humor, the combination is priceless.
It is just, you don't even know what to expect, and he'll set you laughing and crying all within about 30 seconds.
Yep.
And it is fantastic. So that is this Saturday. So it is going to be a great show. We appreciate Jason Sides joining us here on the program, Kyle Hurst joining us, and Jeff Swindell. So, Erin, what's your next? Now, I know you're thinking about a family road trip to Knoxville, but any other sprint car races that you're looking at?
I don't know. I'm going to try to, but we'll be out of town. We'll be at Indy.
When the World of Outlaws come to town, you're going to be at Indy.
Got to go to the 500,
Oh,
darn.
yeah, bless your heart. Yeah, bless your heart. So, got to get you out of a sprint car race for sure. Hey, no doubt about it. We appreciate. It's always so much fun hanging out with you. But more important than all of that, thank you, fans, for tuning in to MRN Winged Nation.
You've been listening to the nation's premier winged sprint car radio program, Winged Nation. Tune in next Tuesday at noon for more talk from the dirt tracks. Winged Nation is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center or download from iTunes or Stitcher. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.